Imagine a world where you can't see the sunrise, can't hear the birds chirping, can't voice your thoughts. This is the reality for some. We often take our senses for granted, not fully appreciating the symphony of experiences they provide us every day. But there are those among us for whom the world is a different place, a realm unseen, unheard, unspoken. They are the individuals who are blind, deaf, and mute. Our world is a canvas of vibrant colors, a concert of delightful sounds, and a stage for our voices. But for those deprived of these senses, their world is painted in different hues. They perceive their surroundings not through the conventional senses but through touch, smell, and vibrations. Their day begins not with the sight of the dawn or the sound of an alarm, but with the feel of the sunlight on their skin, the smell of fresh morning air, the vibration of a waking world. Everyday tasks that we perform without a second thought pose unique challenges for them. Crossing a street, preparing a meal, or even getting dressed can be daunting tasks. Yet they conquer these challenges every day, navigating their world with a resilience that is truly inspiring. Through snippets of conversations with such individuals, we will uncover their experiences, their struggles, and their victories. We will learn about their unique ways of interacting with the world, their ingenious methods of communication, and their incredible capacity to adapt. Their stories are testimonies of human will and adaptability, of finding light in the darkest corners, of hearing the unspoken, of speaking without words. They remind us that our senses do not define our ability to experience and engage with our world. Instead, they show us that it is our spirit, our determination, and our creativity that truly shapes our reality. So let's embark on this journey together, a journey into a world beyond the realm of traditional senses, a world that is unseen, unheard, unspoken, life without sight, sound, or speech, a reality we're about to delve into. What does the world look like when shrouded in perpetual darkness? Imagine navigating through life without the ability to see. For many, this is their reality. The world of the blind is a unique realm that most of us will never fully comprehend. It's not just a lack of sight, but a different way of experiencing life. While we might view blindness as a loss, those living in this darkness often describe it as simply a different way of seeing the world. Let's delve into the minds of the blind, using snippets from their own narratives. We'll begin with how they perceive their surroundings. The world is painted in textures, temperatures, and vibrations. A blind person might not see the sun setting, but they can feel the coolness of the evening air, hear the soft twittering of birds heading to their nests, and smell the sweet scent of dew settling on the grass. Next, let's consider how they handle daily tasks. You might be surprised to learn that many blind individuals lead quite independent lives. They've mastered the art of using their other senses to navigate their world. The sizzling sound of a frying egg tells them it's time to flip it over. The distinctive scent of mint indicates that they've picked up the toothpaste and not the shaving cream. The rhythmic tap of a white cane echoes the layout of a room or the path on a street. Communication, too, is not necessarily hindered by blindness. Feelings and needs are often shared through touch and tone. The warmth of a handclasp can convey 1,000 unspoken words. The inflections in a voice can narrate a whole story. Living in darkness, then, is not about being lost or helpless. It's about adapting, about learning to interact with the world in new ways. It's about realizing that sight is just one of the many senses that connect us to our surroundings. So the next time you find yourself in darkness, remember this. Darkness is not an absence of light, but a different way of seeing the world. In a world filled with noise, what does it mean to live in silence? This is a question that many of us may never have pondered, yet it is a reality for some. For those who are deaf, silence is not just golden, it is their world. Imagine being in a bustling city, a crowded room, or a busy street. The air is filled with sounds that form a symphony of life, the hum of conversations, the rhythm of footsteps, the melody of birds chirping, or the crescendo of a car horn. But for the deaf, these sounds don't exist. It's like watching a movie with the volume turned all the way down. They perceive their surroundings in a different way. They rely heavily on their other senses, particularly sight and touch. A flicker of light, a puff of wind, the vibration of a moving vehicle, or the warmth of the sun on their skin, all convey valuable information about the world around them. Handling daily tasks may seem daunting without the aid of sound, but the deaf have found ways to adapt. From using vibrating alarm clocks to wake up, to reading subtitles on television, or feeling the rhythm of music through vibrations, they navigate through life with grace and resilience. Communication. A fundamental aspect of our lives takes a different form for them. Without the ability to hear or speak, they use sign language, a beautiful dance of hands and fingers, expressing words and emotions with elegance and precision. This silent language, often overlooked, has its own syntax, grammar, and idioms, just like any spoken language. The deaf also use technology to bridge the gap. Text messages, video calls with sign language, and speech-to-text apps have revolutionized the way they interact with the world. They may live in silence, but they are by no means silent. They have a voice, and they've found ways to make it heard. Silence speaks when words can't. For those living in a world of silence, this saying rings true. They've found beauty and meaning in silence, showing us that even in the absence of sound, life can be full and rich. If you couldn't voice your thoughts, how would you express yourself? Imagine a world where your voice doesn't reverberate, where words don't tumble out of your mouth. This is the reality for those who are mute. They navigate their existence in a world dominated by sound, without the ability to contribute to the audible symphony. So, how do they perceive their surroundings, handle daily tasks, and communicate their needs and feelings? The world unfolds to them in a symphony of touch, sight, and smell. A simple handshake communicates warmth and acceptance, while the chill of an icy sidewalk alerts them to change their course. The tickle of a pet's fur, the smell of freshly baked bread, the sight of a loved one's smile. These are the elements that color their world. Their daily tasks may seem daunting to us, but they've developed unique strategies to conquer them. Imagine cooking a meal without asking for the salt, or catching a bus without calling out to the driver. They have learned to rely on their other senses, and also to trust in the kindness of strangers when they need a helping hand. Now, how do they communicate their needs and feelings? Here, the language of signs and gestures becomes their voice. Their hands dance in the air, painting pictures and telling stories. Each flick of the wrist, each tap of the finger carries meaning. The world may not hear them, but it can certainly see their expressions, their frustrations, their joys, and their dreams. For those among us who are mute, the challenge is to make themselves heard in a world that often forgets to listen. They remind us that communication is not just about words. It's about reaching out, touching someone's life, sharing a moment. It's about understanding and being understood. They communicate, they express, they feel, and they live their lives with as much fervor and passion as anyone else. They might not speak in the conventional sense, but they have a voice, and it's one that deserves to be heard. The inability to speak doesn't make one silent. Despite these challenges, there's a resilience that shines through. We've journeyed through the darkness, the silence, and the voicelessness, but now, let's shed light on the triumph over tragedy. The world is filled with individuals who, despite being blind, deaf, and mute, have carved out remarkable paths for themselves. Their stories are not just about overcoming adversity, but also about embracing their unique experiences. They've adapted, they've learned, and they've thrived. Consider, for example, the incredible achievements of those in the world of art. There are artists who, without the ability to see colors or hear the rustling of a paintbrush, have created stunning works of visual and auditory art. They've transformed their challenges into a new language of expression, proving that art has no boundaries. In the realm of academia and science, there are scholars and researchers who've made groundbreaking contributions. They've navigated complex theories and intricate equations, using their heightened sense of touch and acute mental acuity. Their work is a testament to the boundless capacity of the human mind. And then there are those who've turned their personal challenges into a platform for advocacy. They've used their experiences to raise awareness, challenge societal perceptions, and inspire change. They are the activists, the change makers, the ones who remind us that every voice, every experience matters. These individuals have not just adapted to their circumstances, they've embraced them, turning what some may see as limitations into their unique strengths. They've found ways to communicate, to connect, and to contribute in ways that are profoundly inspiring. Their successes remind us that life isn't about the challenges we face, but how we respond to them. They've shown us that, with determination, courage, and an unwavering spirit, we can overcome even the most daunting of obstacles. Their stories are a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human will.